Which country hosted the World Diamond Congress in February 2026 to discuss lab-grown diamond standards? Botswana. Botswana hosted the event to integrate natural and lab-grown diamond markets fairly. The G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting was held in which city in February 2026? Cape Town. South Africa, holding the 2026 G20 presidency, hosted the financial summit in Cape Town. The Global Health Organization declared a successful end to which epidemic in February 2026? Ebola, Sudan strain. Following rigorous vaccination drives, the Sudan strain of Ebola was declared eradicated in East Africa. The World Chess Championship 2026 challengers were finalized in February. Who is the current world champion? Gukesh D. India's Gukesh D defended his status as the world's leading player heading into the 2026 match. The Grammy Award for Album of the Year 2026 was awarded to which artist in February? Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish's experimental pop album won the top honor at the 68th Grammy Awards. The world's tallest wooden skyscraper was completed in February 2026 in which city? Tokyo. The W350 project in Tokyo stands as a testament to sustainable timber construction. A new plastic-eating enzyme was deployed in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in February 2026 by the Ocean Cleanup. The engineered enzyme is designed to break down PET plastics in saltwater environments. In February 2026, scientists successfully cloned which endangered species for the first time in history? Javan rhino. A major conservation breakthrough was achieved in a controlled lab environment in Indonesia. The Quad India, US, Japan, Australia launched a joint maritime initiative in February 2026 called Indo-Pacific Blue Zone. The initiative aims to combat illegal fishing and enhance maritime domain awareness across the Indo-Pacific. Which film won the BAFTA Award for Best Film in February 2026? Echoes of Silence. The psychological drama Echoes of Silence was the big winner at the British Academy Film Awards. NASA's Europa Clipper sent its first high-resolution thermal maps in February 2026, suggesting what? Liquid water plumes. The data confirmed thermal anomalies consistent with liquid water erupting through the icy crust of Jupiter's moon. In February 2026, which company became the second in history to hit a $4 trillion market cap? Microsoft. Microsoft achieved the milestone driven by its integration of AI across all enterprise software. Which historical artifact was returned to Egypt by a London museum in February 2026? The Rosetta Stone. After years of negotiation, a ceremonial handover of the Rosetta Stone was initiated. Which country replaced India as the world's fastest growing major economy for the Q1 2026 projections? Ethiopia. Ethiopia's massive industrialization and service sector growth pushed it to the top of the growth rankings. The first ever AI-generated film festival was held in which city in February 2026? Berlin. The Berlinale introduced a special category for films created using advanced AI synthesis tools. In February 2026, which two countries signed the Arctic Cooperation Treaty to manage shared resources? Norway and Canada. Canada and Norway established a new framework for sustainable resource extraction and environmental protection in the Arctic. In February 2026, which country inaugurated the Museum of the Future 2.0, focusing on Mars colonization? UAE. Dubai expanded its iconic museum to include immersive simulations of the first human Mars base. The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup 2026 final was won by which country in February? India. India defeated Australia in the final held in Zimbabwe. Which city was named the World Book Capital for 2026 in February? Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Riyadh was honored for its massive investment in public libraries and digital literacy. Which international day was celebrated on 21st February 2026, focusing on digital inclusion? International Mother Language Day. The 2026 theme was Preserving Indigenous Languages Through Digital Innovation. Which country officially exited the Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP) in February 2026 citing domestic trade concerns? Chile. Chile withdrew to renegotiate terms regarding its domestic agricultural protections. Which city was officially awarded the 2034 Winter Olympics in February 2026? Salt Lake City, USA. The IOC confirmed Salt Lake City as the host for 2034 following a successful evaluation. The International Labour Organization (ILO) released a report in February 2026 stating that AI has automated what % of administrative tasks globally? 45%. The report urged governments to accelerate reskilling programs due to the 45% automation rate. Which South Asian country held its general elections in February 2026, resulting in a historic coalition? Nepal. Nepal's elections saw a shift toward a younger political coalition focused on infrastructure and digital economy. Which country hosted the Carnival 2026 with a record-breaking 10 million tourists in February? Brazil. Rio de Janeiro saw its largest ever attendance due to expanded infrastructure and safety measures. The doomsday clock was updated in February 2026. What was the time set to? 90 seconds to midnight. The clock remained at 90 seconds due to ongoing nuclear tensions and climate instability. Who won the Super Bowl LX60th in February 2026? San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers secured the championship in a historic 60th anniversary game. The Digital Twin Earth project, a high-resolution simulation for climate prediction, was completed in February 2026 by ESA. The European Space Agency's project allows for hyper-accurate modeling of climate change impacts. Which African nation launched its sovereign digital currency, the eRand, in February 2026? South Africa. South Africa introduced the eRand to modernize its financial system and reduce transaction costs. Which nation hosted the 39th Ordinary Session of the African Union (AU) Assembly in February 2026? Ethiopia. The AU Summit was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, focusing on accelerating free trade in Africa. Which legendary athlete announced their final retirement in February 2026 after a 20-year career? Lewis Hamilton. The 7-time F1 champion announced his retirement following his final season with Ferrari. The World Population Report of February 2026 confirmed that the global population has reached 8.3 billion. The population continues to grow, primarily driven by increases in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. The Global Gold Reserve report of February 2026 showed which country as the largest buyer for the month? India. The Reserve Bank of India increased its gold holdings significantly to hedge against global currency volatility. The Global Trade Outlook 2026 report in February noted a significant rise in trade via which new route? Northern Sea Route, Arctic. Due to melting ice, the Arctic route saw a 40% increase in commercial shipping traffic. The world's largest floating solar farm, was inaugurated in February 2026 in which country? India. India completed the massive project on the Narmada River to provide clean energy to millions. Which European nation reached a net zero migration milestone in February 2026 through new labor laws? Denmark. Denmark successfully balanced its labor needs with strict entry and exit policies to reach net zero migration. Which European country became the first to generate 100% of its electricity from wind for a full week in February 2026? Scotland. Scotland reached this milestone thanks to a massive expansion in offshore wind capacity. The Munich Security Conference 2026 emphasized which primary threat in its February report? Cyber warfare and AI sovereignty. The conference highlighted that digital borders and AI-driven misinformation are the new frontline of global security. Which tech company launched the first quantum-safe encrypted messaging app in February 2026? Signal. Signal implemented post-quantum cryptography to protect messages against future quantum computer attacks. Which country won the AFC Asian Cup 2026 in February? Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia secured the title on home soil in a final against Japan. The Universal Basic Income (UBI) pilot program in which country was declared a success in February 2026? South Korea. The Gyeonggi province pilot showed improved mental health and local economic activity. In February 2026, which major airline became the first to operate 100% sustainable aviation fuel SAF flights? Singapore Airlines. Singapore Airlines successfully transitioned all its short-haul flights to SAF. Which ocean was declared to have the first high seas marine protected area in February 2026? Atlantic Ocean. The Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic received protection under the UN High Seas Treaty. Which automobile brand announced the first ammonia-powered commercial truck in February 2026? Volvo. Volvo launched the FH Ammonia model as a carbon-free alternative for heavy-duty long-haul transport. In February 2026, the UN Security Council passed a landmark resolution regarding which region's autonomy? Western Sahara. A new roadmap for a referendum was proposed to resolve the long-standing dispute in Western Sahara. In February 2026, which country discovered the world's largest deposit of white hydrogen? France. A massive natural hydrogen deposit was confirmed in the Lorraine region of France. Which tech giant faced a record $10 billion antitrust fine from the EU in February 2026? Meta. The fine was imposed for non-compliance with data privacy and targeted advertising regulations. Which country launched the SunSail-1, the most efficient solar sail spacecraft, in February 2026? Japan. Jaksha's SunSail-1 demonstrated propulsion using only sunlight pressure with 95% reflective efficiency. Who was elected as the new Secretary General of the Arab League in February 2026? Nasir al-Kidwa. A new leadership was established to address the evolving geopolitical challenges in the Middle East. The Global Happiness Report released in February 2026 ranked which country at number 1? Finland. Finland secured the top spot for the 9th consecutive year.